Well, I'm a loss for words right now. You got to use the mic, though. Oh, I'll use the mic. Yes, sir. Poetry. Hey, guys, how y'all doing? Well, first of all, obviously, I'm extremely proud of these kids, the coaching staff. Like everybody else, everybody went through different circumstances, starting in June, you know. But I remember looking at them now, it's June 9th, and told them that they asked me, Coach, we're gonna play football this year, and you know, I told them I'd never lie to them. So I was like, guys, I really don't know, but deep in my heart, I think we will. And all I want from you is when they tell us we can play, we're gonna be ready. And that's what they did from June 9th till December 29th. I love those guys. I love this coaching staff. One of the hardest. I got some young guys that are dedicated to the profession, and I'm blessed to have them. And I'm blessed to have these players plus that locker room full of kids in there.
Coach, 28 years since a state title. What does it mean? What's special about this team, and what does it mean to you as a coach?
That's a great question. I hope I can give you a good answer. Listen, it's about setting standards and working towards those standards, and refusing to cut short on those standards. And that's what these guys, the coaching staff does with these kids. They hold them accountable on a daily basis, 365. These kids believe in it, and they execute it. It's it's special, obviously, because kind of like I like it when a plan comes together. What's that movie? Hell on, I know.
You said it last week, but I can't remember. Yeah. It was a whole movie.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a football movie.
Yeah.
But he told me about it last week.
I love it when the plan comes together.
Yeah.
Tony, knocking off a team that has won 4 straight. I mean, there are a lot of teams that come in and face Karr, and I think they're kind of overwhelmed just by the team itself. I mean, it didn't seem like your team obviously
well,
that way at all.
You know, it goes back to week 1 when we drove to West Monroe, Louisiana, and played them week 1. You know, it was a 3-hour trip on a bus. We got out there, the guys got taped. We went on the field, and we just played. We shut them out, and we knew we had something special coming back from last year. You know, because and I've said this previously. When we lost to Easton last year, that was in the quarters. We came back that following Monday after Thanksgiving, and I said, guys, the coaching staff together said, if we're standing in front of you next year at the same time, we failed. We didn't, we got to take that next step. And that was part of our mantra this year: take the next step, protect the team, and so then, then just through the season, I mean, when you look back on the guys, we scrimmage Rumble, and we had our way with Rumble, which was impressive. Then we had West Monroe. Then you beat a West Monroe, then you beat Neville in the same year, and we're like, Coach Mac Barber says, Tony, you beat those 2 guys, you hadn't won a state championship yet, and it's true, and so these guys, they're not gonna back down. They knew we were gonna show up. That's been like that all year, and actually the last 2 years, they show up, they want to ball out, and that's what they do.
Can y'all talk about that attitude? I guess rolling with anything, no matter where you were, who you were facing, what the game situation was like.
So we came out here like facing 4-time state champion. We're not scared of nobody. We played West Monroe, we beat them. We beat everybody except STM. That's the main game we wanted to win, and that's the regular season game. And we lost that game, so it's like, it's either this, or we want a district championship, or we want a state championship. So we put that STM game behind us, and we came out here, we worked, and we told ourselves that we lost to STM, but we definitely not gonna lose the state championship. We got here and we wanted to win, so we won. And that's what we wanted to do.
So the whole week it's been a long week. When the season first started, Coach Gavin, us backs, we just got together and said like this could be a special year for like everybody. Me coming off my ACL, having those coaches, those guys on side of me through the whole process. So I mean, this year, our senior year, we just wanted to give the city of Carencro what they deserve, and that was a state championship. I mean, we don't fear nobody, no matter. Like Coach Gavin said, spot the ball and just ready to roll. No matter, it could have been the number 1 team in the country. Spot the football, we can play. Like that's just our mindset. So we don't make it bigger than what it is. We just play ball, play our expectations.
Just like Popcorn said, when Coach got here in 2018, he told us our mindset had to be a champion. And ever since then, we've just been going up from there and being champions. And look at us, we're champions right now. That's all I gotta say.
You guys had a bunch of different legends come talk to you guys at practice over the past week. What was it like having them come to your practice, and what did you guys learn from them?
So, man, it was just a great experience. All the greats, just talking to them there at our practices, like it was just a phenomenal feeling, just having those guys around because they've been through the same stuff as us. So they know they trusting us that we're gonna bring the state championship home. It was a fun experience. This whole week, the whole last week, it was just fun. Those guys, they are amazing. They set the pathway for us. Like those guys came before us, like Coach Gavin said, we played for the Bears before us. So next to us, before us.
So the legends that came before us, they played what 92, 11, and 96, and 11. Only one of them teams won. And the guys that came this week, they were both from both teams, and they came and they told us that they were some of them were on the right side of history, some was on the wrong side of history. And they said that feeling on the wrong side of history is not going to feel good. So you always want to put yourself on the right side of history and be the best that ever was to come out of here.
When all the greats came to practice, it was like, wow, like everybody, it wasn't even just the greats, like it was everybody from whenever Carencro started playing football to now, like it was all over there. We was at Turtles, they had the whole sideline packed. They was loud, we was focused in practice and while they were loud. It was like, they made it feel like, we was already at the state championship. And then we went out here today, we got to the state championship, it was like, oh, we used to this, we used to the loud noise, because they've been here all week. And they've been talking, like they talk. They talk a lot and they talk loud, so it wasn't nothing to it, we just wanted to make them proud. And that's what we did.
You guys talk about the fun and the excitement of this week and everything. Popcorn, as you spin your way into the end zone and score that last touchdown to stretch the lead, what was that emotion like? Because I'm sure y'all could taste it at that point.
I mean, man, it was phenomenal putting my team up, like just sealing the victory. Like Coach said, like I just needed to make a play. Like during halftime, I was telling all the guys to stay at it, keep chopping wood. And like I told somebody we're gonna make a big play because of that. I just made that big play to seal the game off. Put us on top. Stay champion.
Coach, number 4 was having his way in the first half. Seemed like they were in rhythm, passing the ball. Second half, he was basically shut out, and the quarterback looked like he was seeing ghosts out there. What kind of defensive adjustments did y'all make?
Well, a lot of it, we were in position to make plays, but it looked like he wanted it more than our guys did. And the defensive coaches got together and brought it to their attention that, hey, y'all were in position to make the play, but he wanted it more. Now you have to want it more. And I think in the second half, that's what changed.
Coach, you were there for the first state championship in 1992. You're back now as head coach. I mean, how does this one compare, and how are you feeling about being back and bringing it back to the state?
He just whispered, "Damn you, old coach." Listen, the first one's always sweet, but this is the first one for me as a head coach. But it's the first one with this team. Obviously, it's a tremendous feeling. Again, it's the reward for all the hard work and dedication. The long nights. These guys, my coaching staff's been working 7 days a week since August. 7 days a week. And these kids show up on a Monday morning ready to go. Coach, give us the game plan, let's go. So it's definitely gratifying. And by the way, that movie was the A-Team. Took me
Finally came to
Tony, my last thought for you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Coach, tomorrow Indiana to make it for championship for Acadiana area.
Right.
How special has this year been for the 337?
Well, I think obviously it's unbelievably special. They have 4 teams from Lafayette win the state championship, because that's happened in the past where there's some New Orleans schools, but to have it in Lafayette, it just says a lot about the coaches in the area and these tremendous athletes we have in the Lafayette area.
Tony, my last thought for you. So, some of those gashing runs in the second half, it seemed like for a majority of the game, you guys were able to kind of dictate terms, especially on the offensive line.
Right.
Did you feel like some of those big runs with the time of possession and whatnot, that you were kind of wearing them down?
Exactly. No doubt in my mind. That's the part of our game plan every week is to wear those guys down. You know, and I've said this before. We play defense with our offense, meaning those time-consuming, double-digit time off the clock. Yes, and those guys after a while they get pounded. I mean, we're happy to get 4 yards. You know what I'm saying? Give us 4, we're gonna take it. We'll take it. But those guys get tired of it, and I think over the weight room takes over after that time. You know, our guys are tremendously strong and dedicated in the weight room, and I think that takes over too.
Coach, and this is for anybody who wants to answer, but I know I talked to you guys last week about this, and I just kind of asked, you guys knew the potential that y'all had at the beginning of the season. You guys said you had to prove it. What has Carencro proved this year with this state championship?
Well, again, it's keep chopping wood, like I said. You know, believing in the plan, working it, and even when we have some setbacks, adjust, evaluate, adjust, and come back. And that's what these kids do. They're very resilient, and again, it speaks volumes about the character of these kids and the coaching staff. Because throughout this entire, I call it craziness, we were able to flow with it, and here we are, state champions. Hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to go.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank y'all.